Assalamu alaikum. Let me just start off by saying Jude Bellingham and Courtois, I've been saying this since the start. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for keeping my sanity alive and keeping my sanity, because if I have to be honest, without you both in the team as of recent years, I don't know what I would have done. I really don't know what I would have done because, it looks like I'm happy, it looks like I'm satisfied, but obviously I'm not. Any Real Madrid fan, a true Real Madrid fan, would not be satisfied with what they've seen today. Because what happened today was the last match of the year, right? But what happened today was really horrible. With the performance, with the way we got our goals, and with the team's performance overall. Individually, it could be different. But other than that, this team really, something happened. I don't know when did it start. I don't know. Actually, I know when it started. It's when we beat Barcelona. It's right after that is when everything just went downhill. From injuries, from tactics, from players' attitude, to their ego. Everything just downhill from here. Everything's just been going bad. And this game against Sevilla should be the ultimate eye-opener, because we've had so many eye-openers. And there are still fans who are waiting and still saying that this season is not even that bad. You're like, yeah, it's not that bad, but at the same time, this is not the Real Madrid that you know, right? This is not the Real Madrid that we all know. This is not the standards that they are supposed to be held to. To barely get a win, is that the standard that we're held to? To struggle against Sevilla? To struggle against the way we get our goals? When this team is known for scoring goals? Honestly, what is there that's been surprising you in a good way about Real Madrid? There has been nothing so far. Nothing. The past couple of games, now what, 12 games, 13 games? We have not seen that same Real Madrid we saw in the beginning of the season. That same Real Madrid that beat Barcelona. That same Real Madrid team that gave us hope and glimpse of what has come for years. In a good way, obviously. Now, in a bad way, it's showing us what's to come. And by the way, let me just remind you, for those who still believe Xabi Alonso is the problem, he is not the problem. He's not the problem. And this game, there's a lot of ways and reasons to believe that Xabi Alonso is not the problem. With the first reason being Mbappé. And to be honest, he's been doing well. He's been doing very good, actually, with goal scoring and getting us our goals. The game decider, it's Mbappé. And I'm not here to discredit him. But this game, you guys can see what mattered to him the most. It wasn't the team winning. It wasn't that. It was him tying and breaking Ronaldo's scoring record. Because there were moments and moments and moments where Mbappé had opportunities where he just took it for himself, took the goal, tried to score. Moments where he could have passed to Rodrigo making the run, or Vinicius who's wide open on the left, but he still took the shot. And to be honest, we all seen it. It's not just Mbappé. They were playing for Mbappé that game. A game where we need points. A game where we are in a brink of being in third place in La Liga. That is what's important, right? Mbappé bring the record. Not the club, Mbappé. Now, it is hard for me to believe that was Xabi Alonso's tactics. Or the game plan, not the tactics. Is to pass to Mbappé, make sure that he breaks the goal scoring record. Because that's what's important, and then we're going to try to finish the game and try to win the game. No way. No way. You can tell by the way they played, they tried to make it for Mbappé to break this goal scoring record. And to be honest, congratulations for him. I love the celebration, I love the moment, and I love the way, credits to Rodrigo, by the way, for winning us that penalty. And like I said, we played today for one person. We didn't play for the club. And then when there's games where we have to play for the club, we're not playing like this. You know what I'm trying to say? Not saying that we played very good today, but you guys can see the urgency of trying to get Mbappé to score. But there's no urgency in the other games where we needed a goal unless we win a man down, unless it's in the last 5 minutes of the game, unless we're into the extra time. That's all. And to be honest, this is what I mean by this is not the Real Madrid that we know. This is not our team. Because everybody's playing for themselves or for their own personal reason. You guys can see it in this game. And not to mention, we have other problems in the team as well. And let's just look at it individually, because I want to show you this lineup really quick. So here's the reason why everybody here is green. And that is literally because we won the game. Because if I have to be completely honest, the only players who should have a green next to their name is Courtois, Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Rodrigo, and just because Mbappé scored the penalty, maybe Mbappé with an 8.0. But other than that, nobody else should be getting a green. Nobody. Nobody should be getting a green. We only got a green because we won. You're telling me Asensio, who probably had more slips than passes this game, you're telling me that he got a green? That is a green rating for you? There is no way you're going to tell me Dean Huijsen is a green player who played in the green performance level. By the way, what I mean by green is that all of them are orange. These players are green. You're telling me Fran, Bellingham is green. I mean, Huijsen is green. Rudiger? Like, come on. No. Arda Güler, who, honestly, there was this one crazy pass that he did. Arda, maybe he could have been a green. Maybe. That's just a maybe. But the fact is, this team did not deserve it. Honestly. This team did not deserve greens, only a couple of players. And my man of the match should have been Bellingham. If not, should have been Courtois. Obviously, Rodrigo got the best rating of the game. And to be honest, I could have given it to him, Courtois, or Bellingham because they were phenomenal this game. And like I said, this all goes back to my point where this team is individual brilliance. All right? This team is focused on the way they perform by themselves, the players themselves. It's not for the team. You guys can tell that's just a style for Real Madrid. And shout out to this one person who commented on my Instagram reel where we were talking about the different styles of Real Madrid and Barcelona, and he made a valid point that I didn't even know. He said that Barcelona's style, even when Cruyff took over, has been about ball possession, and Real Madrid has been about these magical moments. And okay, we have our different styles of play, we have our different ways of getting goals, but this is not it. Like we don't see this. I'm sure whoever watched during the Ronaldo era, during the R9 era, you guys definitely have seen magic moments or the way Real Madrid normally plays. All right, you guys have definitely seen that. But so far, the only moment where I remember that we played like that was the 23-24 season. That is it. That is the only season that I remember. Other than that, even the 2022, people were saying that even though we did win the UCL, it was still not the Real Madrid performance level, if that makes sense, But like I said, to be honest, not just the fans, but also Perez. He looks at results. And I think that's what's making Xabi Alonso stay. That's what made Carlo Ancelotti stay, because these are not my words, but I'm taking words from other content creators and other fans where they said results is what drives decisions. And I could see it. How many times have you seen news about Xabi Alonso getting dropped or getting sacked? How many times have you seen that the past 2 months, maybe a month? You've seen it a lot, right? And the news or the headlines always says, if Xabi loses this game, if Xabi loses this game, if Real Madrid does bad. But with this result, there's no reason to sack him, right? And I'm not for sacking him because, like I said, this is not a Xabi Alonso issue. And I could talk about Xabi Alonso really quick. You guys can tell in this game, he does not look the same. And if I have to be honest, I think it's the pressure piling up on him. I think that the way the media is handling it, the way the fans are handling it, the way even the president is handling it, they don't want him to do more for the club. If they think he's the main issue, right? If they don't even see the players as the main issue, I would feel the same way as Xabi Alonso. I would feel the same exact way. Fire me, sack me. Even though this club is the greatest club of all time and the greatest in history, right? He is still human. All right? Carlo Ancelotti is still human. So I still felt bad for Carlo Ancelotti when even I was saying that I don't want him on the team, I was saying that he was the problem. Now I want to look back and I was going to say, is he really the problem? But it's very different comparing those two managers. But Xabi Alonso, I don't think he's the problem. You guys can see his tactics. Remind yourself. Go back in the beginning of the season. Look at the way his tactics was forming right in front of our eyes. You guys can see it. And now, midway through the season, all the way till like maybe the December, we are, I'd say, drifting away from his tactics. Dean Huijsen, remember how crazy he was in the beginning of the season, right? This game, it was not the same Dean Huijsen that I remember seeing him play for Real Madrid for the first time. It wasn't the same. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the injury, but the medical staff and whatever, they have to make sure to keep this boy safe because he is very skinny, and it looks like he's very fragile. He's not quick either. You guys can see attackers were trying to outpace him nonstop, and we cannot let that happen. Dean Huijsen cannot get injured because I think he has not reached his max potential, and I think that there's still more and more room for him to grow, but it depends on how he's managed. Something which is why I don't agree with the ratings is, I just realized this, but how is Courtois 8.5 and Mbappé is very close to his rating compared to Vinicius, who's also close to his rating? It does not make sense. We all know Courtois, if these are their ratings, then Courtois should have been like 8.8 or 8.7, because I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Courtois, we would have conceded maybe 3-4 goals. 3 or 4 goals easily. Nobody in the world is saving that besides Courtois. Those shots that they took against us, only Courtois could save us from that. But goalies don't get the credit they deserve, and honestly, Courtois, I'm telling you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for saving my sanity. Jude Bellingham, I hate the way the media is portraying Jude Bellingham. For me, top 3, and he's not number 3, best midfielders in the world. And to be honest, the way he performed today is the way he usually performs all the time. It's just that people focus on the way he scores and the way he gets assists. Other than that, if he doesn't have to get this rating offensively. He could just play defensively and he'll get this rating. Jude Bellingham is the best all-around midfielder as of right now. And nobody could tell me anything otherwise. I hate the way the media is trying to downgrade or downplay Jude Bellingham's name, trying to downplay his playing style. Jude Bellingham is phenomenal. He's amazing. And I just hope that he keeps up with this form without any injuries. He's been very, very, very good after that shoulder surgery. So props to Jude Bellingham and props to his hustle, because like I said, him and Courtois are the only players that have been playing for the badge. And this game, and as of recent games, we've been seeing Rodrigo, who's been trying to prove a lot. I don't know if he's still leaving, because it looks like now he's like probably a regular starter. Rodrigo has been good. And that is what we've been missing. People want to see him being scoreless for the past 30 games. That's what's blinding the players. That's what I mean, the people, the fans, everybody, they look at numbers. And that is something that I don't see. I don't look at numbers only. I look at the way the games are played. And that is something a lot of people should do. They have to see the way Rodrigo plays. And not just Rodrigo, look at the way Jude Bellingham plays. Which is why I disagree with Vinicius' rating. Vinicius really didn't do anything. There was only 2, maybe 3 plays that he did, which was good. But other than that, Vinny didn't really do anything. And he has not been doing anything for the past, 12 games? Mbappé as well. He's been scoring for us. He's been good. I'm not going to discredit him. Arda Güler has not been doing anything. So we have to really see them for who they are and how they play. Because like I said, and I'll say it again, this is a player individual problem. It is not manager. It is not a team problem. Obviously, we have injuries. But look, we have Dean Huijsen and Rudiger, who's been really good for us. And we're still trying to make excuses. People want to blame Fran Garcia. He didn't even play that bad. Everybody in the field was tripping and slipping. So it was not Fran Garcia's fault because of the slips. Even for Asensio, but at the same time, Asensio was playing out of position. Garcia, I don't see why people are blaming him, but people want him sold. People want him benched. Who's going to come on instead of him? You want to put Camavinga, who's a midfielder, at left back. He could play here and there, but Camavinga also is not a good left back. So I don't know what the fans are trying to do, but Xabi Alonso is doing so far good, handling injuries. I'm not saying past couple of games, I'm not gonna lie, but this game specifically, I agree with the way he lined it up. But something that I wish Xabi Alonso could stick to is the 4-2-3-1 formation, because I don't know if you guys remember, in the beginning of the season, he was playing with that formation, and we've been doing very good in the 4-2-3-1 formation. I think it's more organized compared to this. I don't know if you guys were watching the game, but the lines were all over the place. When the La Liga were showing us the lines, the way the players were lined up, it was not organized at all. But with the 4-2-3-1, it's very organized, and we know where every player is at. And I think so far, out of all the formations we've tried, I think the 4-2-3-1 works. Obviously, when Xabi Alonso's tactic switches to 3 in the back, 5 in the middle, that also works as well. But I have not been seeing that in recent games, and I think it's because of the injuries. And honestly, probably Xabi Alonso is scared to try things now. This game, he did try a couple of things, I could tell. But I think he is scared to try a couple of things because of the pressure. And I just think he's not as motivated anymore because of the whole media, the pressure and everything. So I don't know what's going to happen in 2026. But the way we closed off 2025 was not the best. The way we closed it off was not the best. I wish we closed it off with a banger. And against especially Sevilla, a team that is not really that strong. And the way we performed against them was horrible, especially defensively. They were toying with us defensively. They knew the basic way to break our defense, and they were doing it over and over again, and we had no answers to that. So that is something that we have to focus on coming back after break. Defense, the structure. Every single player in Real Madrid, bench or starter, has to play in the same level. Has to be ready to start. Has to be ready to be called up when the time is right. Some of the academy players are ready and they're there. So call them up. We don't have to force anybody with injuries, anybody with doubt. Xabi Alonso really has to look into these things and look into the deeper problem. Because like I said, I don't think he got to question his attacking tactics. I don't think it's that. Even though our attacks are boring, I think defense is more important because we've been conceding as of recent games. We've been conceding a lot. And I think that is something that we have to address before we look into the offense and how we score goals. So that is my honest opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comments below. Do you think that Real Madrid deserve this? What are your predictions for Real Madrid in 2026? Do you see us winning anything? Do you see us going far in the Copa del Rey, Super Copa? Do you see us winning La Liga or Champions League or both? Let me know what you think. Drop your honest predictions. Thank you very much for 200 subscribers, and we are well on our way to 300. A lot of you guys are not subscribed. Please and make sure that you subscribe because it's for free. And, come hear me vent. I vent a lot. So just come hear me out, comment, and we can have a conversation. Thank you very much. And until then, Assalamu alaikum.